Welcome once again to today's session. Today we are just coming to do Python data types and control statements. Okay, so please create a new file in your Python folder. So you can create a new file over there, Python control flow statements and data types. Then you add .ipynb. Don't forget the extension ipynb. Let me just type it here for you to see. .ipynb. That's the extension you need to use. So today we are continuing with data types. So I want us to go a little deeper into strings. Let's give an example. So I'm going to say string type and say this is a string. So you can just go ahead and also try it on your side. So just create a cell. So anytime you want to create a new cell, just click on add code, yeah, and then type in there and then print string type. Now the next thing is accessing substring. Substring is just a portion of the string, or a subset. Let me just say a subset. So you have the entire data and you are looking for a subset of a particular character in the string.
Okay.
So now you can access a string using the array accessor or the square bracket. Let's say student name. Let me just say student name Zaki. Now let me print the student's name. Now I want to access the first element or the first letter here, which is Z. All I will say is that, let's say I'll just use as a print for now. I'll just print it direct. So I'll just say string student's name, then I'll bring square brackets and it starts counting from 0. Index in computing start from 0. If you notice, I got Z. If I bring 1, meaning I want to access the second element, and I got A, I want to access third one, that is 2, I'll get C. So this is accessing element at an index. Now if you want to access substrings within a range of index, okay, so that is where you say print. Maybe I want to access from A to K. I'll say 1 colon K is 3, so 4. Whenever you are providing a positive value, meaning you are accessing from the left to right, but whenever you are providing a negative value, then you are trying to access from right to left. Let's say print student name -1, and I want to access the last letter value, that is I. When you are counting from the right, you use negative but from 1. So when I say I want to get, let's say C, I want just provide -3. So when you are using negative, meaning you are counting from right to left. Now we have what you call slicing substrings. So I have already explained this part for you. That is when you want to access the string within a range. So that is where you use the colon. Student name, let's say 1 4 for you ACK. So now we are coming to update a string. Now in updating a string, meaning you are trying to change the value in memory. Okay, I will give an example for you to see. So just say an existing string can be updated or reassign an entirely new value to it. So let me just print to make it simple. Let me just print the name. That's the name over here again. First of all, before we start looking at these examples, let's just practice something. I want to change, let's say I to let's say Y, student name, then I will use 0 1 2 3. What position is the I? All I have to do is that you have to use a keyword called replace. So let's say I want to replace Y, so I with Y. You realize that it has changed it from I to Y. So anywhere there is I in it, it will replace it for me. There are several ways that we can manipulate strings. With all these things, we can still write a function to update the string. And let's look at the example. You said actually we have to declare a variable called var slicer. Then I will say that I want to get all the strings that are like, so for student name, I want to get everything up to up to this thing. What's the name? Index 4. We know that when you are using this range, it will chop it off. Okay, sorry, up to index 3. Zaki 0, 1, 2, 3. Then we concatenate it. That is what we call concatenation. So we print updated student name. It has taken out up to the case. So let's make it 4. So you realize that it is the same approach. It still worked. All right. Print student name. You realize that even though we have updated the student name, you realize that the value didn't change in memory. We only changed it on the fly. Now, if you notice over here, we have changed the name. So now we have picked from Z to K, and then we have now truncated the Y from it, the I from it. We have removed the I. What we did over here, if you want the value of this one to change, then we need to reassign the new update we have done to what we already have. So if you want to do it, we can say that student name equals student name updated, and then subsequently, if we print student name, we will get the new update. Now let's use student name dot replace. Now I want us to bring back I use by replacing the Y. Let me just give you an example of how you can do something like that. So this is a long, let me say a long string. Hello, my name is Lucky Dogbe, and then I print long string. Hello, my name is Lucky Dogbe. So all I'm trying to say is that, for instance, I want to omit hello, my name is this, and then start from my name is Lucky Dogbe, and then I print long string, then square bracket. I'm going to slice the string. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the empty space, sorry, is also a character, so yeah, it's also counted. And then I print. If you notice, it has printed for me, my name is Lucky Dogbe. Now, if I want to replace, let's say Lucky Dogbe to Zaki, I'll just say updated long string is long string dot replace. Then I'm updating Lucky Dogbe. I'm replacing Lucky Dogbe with what? Zaki. Then when I print this updated long string, you notice that he said, hello, my name is Zaki. That is the whole thing I want you to do, but you are going to use a different approach. Like, sorry, you are just changing the variable names. Another way of updating a string is to convert it to lowercase or uppercase. So I can just say lower, and everything is now lowercase. If I say upper, so if I want to capitalize it, I'll just say print updated string dot capitalize. So you notice that the first letter is capital and subsequent ones are lowercase. Title case it to updated string dot send title. So when I make it title case, every starting word will be a capital letter. So if I say remove empty strings from a value, so let's say, let me print the default string we are working with once again. Print updated long string. Sorry, this is what it has, some empty spaces in it. So let me say remove empty spaces equals updated long string dot replace into brackets all empty strings with this. That is another way. I'll just print remove. So you notice that there are no empty spaces in it. So everywhere it encounters an empty space, it removes the empty space. There's another function you can use, that is trim. Now the trim, what it does is to updated string dot trim, strip. Sorry. So the strip, what it does is it removes excess spaces. So if there, for instance, there is an extra space, let me just give you an example. Let me say excess is equals, let's say updated string plus some extra space. When I print this, let me put some at the beginning too, that you see what I'm talking about. You realize that there's an extra empty space at the front here. When I say excess, let me replace it with excess space, and I say strip, you realize that it has removed all the excess spaces for me. So there are several strings that you can play around with. We have the lower, I've showed you the lower by now. I've showed you the replace, I've showed you the capitalize, I've showed you strip, I'm here to show you some of them. So and then title, I've showed you upper. So let me just show you a few couple of them. So I'll start with ends with. So when let's say you are analyzing a data and you want to see if, let's say you want to check if a certain string ends with a certain character. So let me print the name again, updated long string. You realize that I have Zaki. Let me say updated dot ends with Zaki. Another thing we can look at over here is format. Now format helps you style your string. Let's say you are doing something dynamic. Normally if you are doing dynamic data formatting, so let's say I want to say formatted string. Now with formats on a string, I can say, let's say hello, my name is, then I bring opening and closing curly brackets. You have to provide format. You have to add, let's say, format. So the opening and closing bracket is just a placeholder. So it returns a formatted string for you. So let's say the name is Zaki, and let's say you want to add, let me print this one first, formatted string. Realize that hello, my name is Zach. The format has formatted the string and has replaced all the opening and closing curly bracket with the value over here. Now you can add as many as you want, but you have to use values that replace each and every one of them. I am studying date. I'm studying. Let's say I want to put over here another value, so another placeholder. Then I'll come here, data science and machine learning. And when I print it, you realize that it has appended the string. It has replaced the value over here for me, and then replace the first one and the second one. Everything has been replaced. So it happens in that sequential order. The first one in the format string over here is used to replace the first opening and closing bracket. Used to replace the second one. So let's say I'll say this something course. So and then I'll say over here that I'll add another comma, 6 months. Now when I print it, it's telling me it's a 6-month course. These functions or these methods, they are available on any string variable. And you know that even though I formatted this as a string, I can come and put the format over here on this one instead of on the, I can put the format to still produce the same results. So what happens is that the functions or the methods, they are available on the string. All right, so if you want to write a one-liner code, you can just, instead of declaring the variable and coming and appending it here, you can just append the format parameter function on the string directly straight in like inline over here. If you want to check if a string is a number, so maybe you can be analyzing some data and you realize that the values, even though it is, let's say, amount, but it has been formatted as, let's say, 1000, like this. So maybe normally it happens with Excel, even though the value is a numeric value that you are expecting, it is formatted as a string. So all you can check is, okay, you just check if amount is a numeric. Okay. Say print is a number. So you see, it's telling me that it's a number. And so we have alphanumeric, and then we have numeric. Alphanumeric is, let's say you have some alphabet in it. So if I do this, it will be false and it will not be printed. Why? Because there are some alphabets in it. Check whether it is alphanumeric. Then I'll just say is alnum. And you see that it say is alphanumeric. There are other functions on it that you can try with. You can use is decimal, is digit. So you have so many things to check. I'll end it here. Tomorrow when we meet, I'll continue for you from typecasting. Okay, thank you so much for your time.
If you have not subscribed yet, please do and click the notification button so that you will be the first to know when we release a new video. Visit academy.tinker.com and see you in the next video.